Hi, this is Mason, and you're watching the 315 with Brian Higgins. Now it's time to start the post-game show. Here's Brian.
Yeah. We're here. Man, just another soul-sucking exhibition of a Syracuse basketball game. Virginia Tech 76, Syracuse 74, a game that Syracuse had a significant lead in the first half. They're up by 10 at one point in the first half, right? They end up going down by double figures in the second half before rallying back to make it interesting in the end. But, oh my goodness, just like what was that second half? Just what was that second half? It was terrible, absolutely terrible. And the first half, honestly, wasn't necessarily a lot better, except the threes they happened to be hucking went in. I don't know. It just another tough one, and I always say that the enemy of where we're all at, where the program is at, what everyone's feeling, is not anger, because everyone's pissed and whatever. The enemy is apathy, because when people stop caring about it, it's a really big problem. It was dead in the Dome tonight. Absolutely dead in the Dome tonight. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock. Yeah, it's a Tuesday. There was nobody there. The crowd tried to get into it. I'm not blaming the crowd for this, but the crowd tried to get into it a few times. It was just dead. I mean, you could hear like individual conversations on the TV broadcast. Just absolutely dead. And it's like, I don't know. Like, I think we're reaching the point now where it's inevitable where this is heading at the end of the season. I know a lot of people want to fire him right now. I don't know what the benefit is to doing that other than, an endorphin rush for an afternoon for the fan base. But I don't think that's I don't think that really is going to get you anything if you do it now. And still, you're not going to do it now. But it's again and again and again and again. And a week ago, we had at least a little bit of hope, right? A week ago, we had some hope. You get those two back-to-back wins on the road. It's like, all right, go beat BC, and now you got this stretch coming up with Virginia Tech, Miami, and NC State. If you can get that, maybe you can play yourself into the mix here. Maybe you can get at least into the mix in the ACC and have a thought about having a thought. And now you're so far removed from it that, is it over? No, it's January 21st. There's still, 6-7 weeks remaining here in the regular season. It's not officially over, and they can whatever. But, man, like, the Dome is going to be a morgue the rest of the season. Like, people aren't going to go to the games. People are the loudest language of Syracuse basketball fans the rest of this season is going to be their absence from the Dome. And that is going to hang large over this program here for the next couple of months. That is going to hang large for the program with the next couple of months. The offense ran better with Bryce Zephyr at point. I mean, did it? Like, they were just chucking threes in the first half. They happened to go in. Zephyr moved the ball. Let's not... Sure. I don't know, man. It's just, they were chucking threes in the first half. They were chucking threes in the second half. In the first half, they went in. In the second half, they didn't get in. Get ahead of the coaching carousel. I'll say what does waiting do? Like, honestly, and this sounds terrible for Red, and not that there's anything good to say for Red at the memo. Oh, do we want to hear from Virginia Tech's head coach? What does Mike Young have to say about life? Sure. Why the hell not? Mike Young, what do you have to say about life? We can get all crazy with it. What do you got to say, Mike?
They'll go on and win a lot of games and have a great year.
Yeah.
You guys go ahead.
Are you sure? What? Not, Mike, let's reel that back in. Win a lot of games.
What do you think your defense did so well tonight against Donnie Freeman, holding him to one of his worst shooting performances of the season thus far?
And he's a heck of a player. He made a three early. I think every flipping body in the building made a three early. We gave up 7 in the first half, and then I think it was Kings made one early second half. We just weren't right in the first half, my team, and we didn't have the right stuff. We didn't have the right stuff to beat Syracuse. We didn't have the right stuff to win a game on the road in this league. And I told him as much in the second half. Donnie is a dominant right-hand driver. He's got to get right. Can he go left? Yeah, he's a really good player. But cut that right hand off. You cannot let him catch face up from 15 feet where he's really, really good. And, be on his shoe tops on the perimeter. And again, sit on his right hand. And Armani Hansberry, number 13 for us, is a brilliant person and adhered to that quite well, as did Toby Lawal.
Scouting report, following a scouting report. I like it. All sounds good, Mike.
Coach, kind of a slugfest offensively.
Yeah, like watching a tractor pull.
What in the second half, was it spacing that you were able to, kind of space them out and attack?
Yeah, the ball moved better. And Hammond got going. Hansberry for us is a straw that stirs the drink. He's an elite passer, an elite basketball player, and he just gets everything churned up. And I thought Kyle had some problems with that. We got him behind some things. We're able to get into the bonus. We didn't shoot our fouls great, but yes, I agree with you.
Mike Young's really good. Really good. I've never watched a tractor pull either, but I'm just going to believe him, Johnny. I'm going to believe him.
We didn't do anything tricky. We were going to stay on a ball screen a little bit more. JJ scares us to death. He's scared me for 3 years now here at Notre Dame with he's just so darn dynamic. Great coaching on my part. I went zone for a possession. Of course, they flipped the damn thing to Betsy up top for a made three. That was enough of that. But I've got a really good defensive team, and I've got a really good defensive three-point percentage, whatever it is. We guard the arc very, very well. We didn't in the first half. We did a much better job of that in the second half. They shot 41 in the second half. So feel good about it. Think a lot of coming here, the people here. Is that it for me?
All the way up to the last one.
Coach, just the result.
Mike Young's a comedian.
At one point.
Yeah, we were. We're 21 games in now. All right, we've seen a lot of situations. We've been in a lot of these, and I've got smart people. I've got really good basketball players. We've mishandled a couple of things. We fouled Betsy on a three-point shot. We didn't meet the ball in the press, but man, I thought we played a really good ball game. Certainly in the last 20 minutes. I'm proud of our team. Any win on the road in this thing is significant. We'll take it, and we'll head on down to Louisville.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, everybody. Have a nice night.
Thank you.
You too, Coach. Mike Young, everybody. I didn't know Mike Young did dinner at a show. I mean, the dude's a comedian. But Mike Young, if we're thinking down the line, like where did this guy come from, right? He was at where was he? He was at Wofford, right? I think he was at Wofford. He was a very successful mid-major basketball coach, and when Buzz left Virginia Tech with his sweaty shirts what was that? When Buzz left for Texas A&M, Mike got that job. He brought most of Wofford, I think it was Wofford, right? With him. He brought a lot of those guys with him. They had immediate success. Then he recruited a bunch of shooters and those guys, and it wasn't high level recruits, but remember 3-4 years ago, whenever it was, they went on that run and won the ACC tournament. Mike Young was, was he a big name on the hiring circuit that year? No, but again, it was Virginia Tech basketball. This will be Syracuse basketball. So it'll be, man, it's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out here in the next couple months vis-a-vis Red. We'll get Red's presser, presumably, shortly. Mike that was snappy. He's coming in. He's cracking one-liners. He's keeping it moving. How about that? Mike Young. There we go. I mean, he's bebopping and scatting all over the place. There we go. There we go. Are you misreading the end? Yes, Sean, I think you are misreading the end. I did not read that at all from what Mike Young said. He was just having a friendly good time and talking about tractor pulls. He was in there at tractor pull. So we'll get Red assumingly shortly. Then we'll open it up to live calls. Link pin top of the chat as per always. And what stinks, Mad NY, is and this is some of this is credit to Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech used to be nothing, and now they are good. They've been a solid program now for a decade plus, maybe even longer at this point. Seth Greenberg sort of got it going a little bit, even though they never made the tournament, into Buzz Williams and then into Mike Young here. Like, they're solid. They're not a great program, but they're a solid program. And this is, again, it's going back way too far to matter. They didn't used to be a peer, even though they were in the same league in the ACC, or in the Big East. They were not peers when they were in the Big East. Syracuse whooped them on an annual basis in the Big East. That's obviously a very, very long time ago. Virginia Tech left that league a decade before Syracuse did. But just a rough one. Just a rough one. They're not lulls, Audric. They're dips. Get with the nomenclature, the Red nomenclature. There's too many dips. They don't lull, they dip. They don't play level 5, they dip. It's way too early to even... How many teams missed the ACC tournament? 3? I think it's 3. I don't know. We're so far ahead of... They would have to have such an epic collapse for that to happen, but I don't know. Melo needs to head the coach search. I don't know if I want Melo heading the coach search. I don't mind Melo being involved. Like, having Melo around is good. Like, having Melo just in the mix is good. The more Melo, the merrier. I would like to see it. I would like to see Melo involved. I mean, Melo's involved now, right? Because Cayenne's there. I like the vibe. Melo just brings good vibes. Melo vibes are always fantastic. I love Melo. I love his vibes. We love everything. I love his outfits. We love everything that he's got going. He had a jauntily angled hat tonight. Yeah, the February. I mean, you're not wrong, LA Orange. The schedule gets harder. The schedule gets significantly harder from here. Like, that's why you couldn't lose Boston College. And not that you can't lose a game like this, but you need to win way more games like this than you lose to put yourself in position to have a chance. Lumpkin? I still haven't been to Big Fellas. That's still there. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Donnie rolling the ball in. Like, what even was that, Dan? Like, what was that? There was how many times? Yeah, Cayenne's not a hustle back on D guy. He needs to do that. Sadiq, I kind of like Sadiq's got to get more pointed in the right direction. I can kind of see it in there for Sadiq. It's not quite there yet. He makes some nice plays, but he does some head scratching stuff. He's a freshman. Donnie just got bodied in this game. They physicaled him. They out-physicaled him. I mean, you heard what Mike Young said. That they got in his right hand. They bodied him up. All of their bigs got into him, and Donnie didn't deal with it. Donnie hung out on the perimeter. Donnie did not. I'd say he did. He did late, technically. Was that his only 2 of the game late? Yeah, his only 2-point basket of the game came. It wasn't even really. It was that steal turnover late in the game where he was right at the rim. Like, he couldn't move inside the arc today. And when your best player, when that's happening to him, and then, when that's happening, and then Syracuse didn't have another answer. Like, their answer in the first half is they just made a crap ton of threes. You knew that wasn't sustainable, realistically. What were they? They were 7 of 12 from 3 in the first half. Like, that's not sustainable. You're not doing that again in the second half. And, yeah, they didn't do it again in the second half. They went 3 for 11. All for the game, though. Like, you shot 43% from 3. That's excellent. They didn't do anything else. And then the turnovers. Yeah, Mark, the turnovers. The turnovers, again, it's 14 in the game. It didn't land on 2 guys like it did last game. It was kind of spread out throughout the team, but it's the It's just too much sloppy play. Points off turnovers in a 2-point game. This is a 2-point game. Points off turnovers. Virginia Tech 16, Syracuse 8 in a 1-possession game. Yeah, it's the things like that. Like that's effort. That's, that's getting in there. That's level 5. Like, you get in there. Just don't turn it over. Turnovers in the first half. Yeah, turnovers were 5 in the first half, 9 in the second half. 5 in the first half, 9 in the second half. Dan, and then, like, that's where the Sadiq thing, you can see the flashes. Like, that little stretch in the second half, Donnie's playing like crap. Red puts him on the bench. I got some tweets. Oh, you can't take Donnie out. I'm like, no, Donnie was playing like crap. He needed a couple minutes on the bench there. Sadiq comes in. That's when he had the dunk and another dunk. Sadiq was playing really well there for that little stretch. But he made the 3 early, which may have been the worst thing that happened to him. Now he's chucking threes the whole game. I don't mind him shooting 1, but, dude, Sadiq shot, he shot 3? Yeah, he shot 3 threes in the game. Like, and including the one, like, early shot clock one when Syracuse was, down 5 or whatever it was with about a minute to go. Like, you just can't have that. You just can't have that. And not to put it on him, there's just way too much of that stuff up and down the whole roster of you just can't have that. And, is it Donnie not getting to the rim? Is it JJ, in foul trouble in the first half? Is it Nate George with the turnovers, even though he only had 1 today? But obviously that's been a problem all season. Is it Sadiq White being foully, though he's a freshman? Is it Cayenne being lackadaisical at things? Like, it doesn't go at one person. Yeah, the last one was wide open. It was more the second one he took, which was just like, dude, what are you doing? But it's yeah. And Syracuse may not have Tusi for football anymore. Like, what are we even doing? What are we doing? Oh man, yeah. They just keep chucking threes. And I said in the first half, it's like, man, this stand around. They were playing a 5-out chuck threes offense. I'm like, what are they doing? And, all right, like, Nate King's had a nice shooting game. And, yeah, threes went in. Betsy hit a couple. But, man, it's just so frustrating. Yeah, like, Sadiq, I think Sadiq's ceiling, like, he's a freshman. Like, if Sadiq is still here next year, and you never know these days, right? I think Sadiq is going to be a really good player. I like Sadiq long term. It's just today we saw the good and the bad of what a freshman in Sadiq is. Cayenne's effort the last few games, it's just like, dude, come on. Like, get it moving here. Get it moving here. Mike Young was in and out of there. Virginia Tech wants to get out of Dodge. I don't blame him. It's late. They need to get on the plane going home. Where's Red? We just have an empty podium. Empty podium watch, waiting for Red. And then, I mean, I didn't even forget about this because so much stuff happens. It's a 3-point game, right? And then they miss the free throw. They got one guy in the lane, and Donnie gives up the rebound to Lawal, who he's got boxed out. Like, realistically, are you going to win the game at that point? No, probably not. But you can't do that. Like, what are you doing? You can't do that. You have to get the rebound. You have to get the rebound. They're going to sign a more highly rated rapper. Like, you have to get the rebound. And, at least give yourself a chance. Now, realistically, Virginia Tech, in that situation, 6 seconds left, 3-point game, Mike Young's right there. They're going to foul you, more likely than not. You're not going to get a 3 off. You're still probably not going to win, but you got to get the rebound. Like, get the freaking ball. Like, you had the ball in your hands. Don't let the guy come and take it from you. Kanye's coming. Oh, Red's here. Hang on. I got distracted.
Turnovers, turning the ball over for what reason, don't understand. And when they gave us a chance, the inability to get the rebounds, important rebounds, the stretch to give us a chance again, I just thought that was the difference going back and forth. But, the turnovers and our inability to get the rebounds when we needed it, they gave us a chance to we got a clean look to tie it up. That's all you can ask for. Then, we get another chance and we walk under the fucking basketball, under the rim, and we don't get the rebound. So to give us another chance. So those are the things that, that I would sum up the second half. and that was the game. Questions?
That's a deserved F-bomb on the rebound. I don't blame Red for that. We're on the internet. It's fine.
Right? Pretty upset. You know, off the free throw line. Got to get the rebound.
I hope Red just starts swearing.
You know, I've been pretty good this year, but today that you took a bunch of jump shots today. They made him a jump shooter and he missed a bunch of shots. Like, did you?
He looks
want particularly
pissed.
to do it closer to the basket,
Just
or
pissed.
what did you want him to do offensively today?
Well, you know, one, you know, he's going to be the top of the scout report. You know, they knew that they were going to double team him. All right. You know, he took a couple of shots, but when he did go to the basket, thought they were physical with him. He didn't finish around the rim like he normally does. Those things happen.
The fouls in the second half, what were they doing to get to the line so often?
Well, I think we got caught in some bad rotations, some bad closeouts, getting caught off balance, and you know they got in there and you know they played off of 2 feet. We never got back in front to really make a contest, and then a couple of times, you know, I thought we did a good job. It didn't go our way.
Coach, at this point, does it come down to not just this game, but a lot of these coaches?
The F-bomb brought you back,
Is it
MJ?
discipline this deep into the season?
Yeah, I mean, he should be pissed, but he's
Well,
pissed.
I mean, again, discipline is a word that, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we have to have more focus. Focus. That's the word that I would use. Focus. In the margins, and that's what we talk about. And we haven't done that the last couple of games. We just haven't done that. I'm just, you know, very disappointed again in, you know, the second half turnovers, and then, you know, when we get a little bit of life, we get a chance to get a rebound, and we just didn't come up with it. That's what I'm disappointed at.
They need more effing focus.
Where you're coming after what
He's not
happened
wrong.
in DC on Saturday.
All losses are frustrating. You know, there's no loss that's, you know, that I go, oh, that's okay, that's a decent one. I hate losing. Our guys hate losing, but we're not doing the things as a coaching staff and as players to win games right now. That's just the bottom line. These last 2 games, we did not do enough to win games, right? And it's not the shooting percentages, it's not free throws, it's not none of that. It's just the stuff that's in the margins. Rebounding, all right, taking care of the basketball.
Right, you mentioned the focus there.
Oh,
This
marginal
the
that
ninth
stuff
time
is.
you've lost the second half this year. How come that has become a pattern for your team?
You know, it's a good question. It's a good question. You know, I think, you know, something that we're trying to figure out. And it's not really a second half. It's a game for me. I know you go halves, and it's just a game. We got to be able to get to the finish line with some wins. You know, we got great opportunities. This was a great one today. You know, we got to be ready. We got to bounce back. You know, we got to live this, learn from it, and move forward. That's all you can do. This one is, you know, obviously disappointing, but we got to be ready to refocus and get ready for the game on Saturday.
The finish line, though, is in the second half of these games, so I'm told.
Frustrated as well. How do you reassure them that you can?
I understand that frustration, and everyone is frustrated. I understand that frustration. You know, again, you know, we'll get refocused and we'll go out there and, you know, we'll fight. You know, that's the one thing. You know, these guys are gonna fight, all right? And I'll find other guys to fight, but they will fight. They have fought. Again, Virginia Tech is not a bad team. You know, again, we had our chances, and we just, you know, we got to do the little things better. We have to do the little things better.
Adrian, obviously you're upset tonight. You said so. What's the mood of the team, and how do you work with them over the next couple of days to get ready for Saturday and make sure this doesn't start to slip away?
They got to grow up, which they will. They're young men. They got to respond. It's all you can do. All right. Everyone has to respond. We got to respond. We got to look at the film. We got to get better and get prepared. That's the only thing that you can do right now. Right? We got another good opportunity coming on Saturday. Right? We got to get ready, and we got to be ready for it. Not that we wasn't ready tonight, because I thought they prepared all week. I mean, a couple of days I thought they prepared very well, but it was just the little things that bit us again, and it's just disappointing.
Last couple of games.
Are they going to grow up in the next, 60 hours before the next tip? That's a quick, it's quick growth.
The lack of defense with them.
Yeah, I mean, got to keep people in front of us. Our guards got to step up and respond. That wasn't happening early in the season. They got to step up. All right, that's the challenge. And it's not just them, it's our team defense as well, but they got to do a better job. No way around it. They have to do a better job.
When you look at the season to this point, how would you assess this year?
I think it's been some inconsistencies, of course. In the season that happens. I think everyone goes through it. But for me, I'm looking forward. We're moving forward. Again, we got 12 games left, and we got to finish up strong.
Turnovers, Red. Did you see a trend in why they were happening? Were they careless or lazy or effort?
I thought the last game, I thought we tried to make some passes that wasn't there. Today, I just thought they were careless turnovers. I thought they were careless turnovers, especially at the end. It had nothing to do with a difficult set or anything. We just didn't take care of the ball. We got it knocked out of our hands. We got to be stronger with the ball.
With JJ and Nate going into foul trouble early in the game, do you feel like that slowed down the offensive production?
We went into the half up. I thought Bryce Zephyr, Cayenne really came in and gave us a boost. I thought they held the first half all the way down. I mean, we came in at halftime up 7, so I thought they did a really good job. No, I didn't think that at all. Thank you.
You're welcome, Red. There he goes. A pissed off effing Red Autry. Okay. Great crowd here late night. Man, we're fast closing on Thursday morning. So a reminder, as always, if you're new here or if you're just in and out, hit that subscribe button before you go to bed tonight. It helps out the channel. Once you do that, turn your notifications on. That helps out you to know when we're on the air, which will be 11 in the morning because we got a live in the 315 coming up tomorrow. And if you'd like to be a member of the channel, there's a little $sign there next to the chat box. Just click the $sign and, follow the yellow brick road, and you can make those things happen and really support the channel and help us grow here as we're moving on through basketball season 1 in this format. We're north of 100 people here closing on midnight. Great crowd here, and this is, to the point, and link pinned top of the chat if you'd like to join the show. Oh, people have hit the link, so we'll get to our callers here. But to the point of apathy versus anger versus wherever we're at right now, like, people are still invested in Syracuse basketball. You all are here. We're all here together right now. That shows me there is still fan investment emotionally. But what I see, it's a 9 o'clock tip on a Tuesday night. There was nobody in the building. There's not fan investment financially right now, and why would you at this point? And people are at the breaking point. People are losing their ever loving minds. So 12 games left in the regular season, and we shall see where things go from here. All right, let's get the calls going here. Just a moment, Mike. We'll get to you here in 1 second. Mike was in denial and in a bag last time, but wow, Mike, you're here. I can see your face and everything this time. You're not in a bag. I don't know if that's bad if you're out of denial at this point. Oh, you're. Why don't I hear Mike? Are you muted, Mike? Mike is silent. Maybe we'll hang on, Mike. You're gonna. I don't know. Mike is muted. We're gonna take Mike off the screen. We're gonna go to Anthony here in a second. Mike will log out and figure out what's going on there. We'll get Anthony on here, and then we'll get Mike back in a second. Level 1 mic issues right there. That's just not enough level on the mic, that's actually an audio joke if you like audio jokes with microphone levels and whatnot. If you are a fan of microphone jokes, you have come to the right place. Hang on, let me just click the right buttons here so we can get Anthony on with us for a breakdown of that. All right, Anthony, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Brian?
Well, another fun, riveting edition of Syracuse basketball, huh?
Yeah, man. Sorry, I couldn't come on last week. I was at work when they played Georgia Tech, but I figured they would get blown out by Virginia Tech. They hung in there, but it really came down to was it Mike Young, the coach, his adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
You knew that in the second half, Syracuse wasn't going to come out, lighting it up with three like they did. I mean, they killed it with the three ball. So you knew that Mike Young would come out and his plan would be to stop them from shooting the three. Therefore, Autry needed to make some adjustments, and he didn't make the right adjustments. I mean, I would have came out with that lead in the second half. I would have came out and I would have tried to I would have said, listen, I know they're going to stop the three. So down low, we got to put some big boys, down low and just pound it in the paint because we got killed in the paint the whole game. It really came down to adjustments. I mean, late in the game, it was a bunch of late game antics, late game antics is not going to win a game, the rebounding. But, if you notice, like 15 minutes, I had stopped at 15 minutes in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
When they came out in the second half, they stopped sharing the ball. The reason that they got those threes in the first half is because they were sharing the ball.
Yeah.
They were
almost all of the threes in the first half, Anthony, were assisted.
They were assists. And then they came out in the second half and they barely got any assists halfway through the game. The other thing is during the press conference, Autry admitted that Bryce Zephyr and Cayenne came in and held it down. So why didn't you put Bryce Zephyr back in? He was magnificent. A lot of people think that we don't have nobody to handle the ball. We do. The reason that people think we don't have nobody else handle the ball because Autry don't play those guys.
The Zephyr thing, it's like he was fine in the first half, but at the same time, like I don't think he was necessarily the reason the good stuff was happening. I think other guys just happened to be making shots. It's a weird spot. Like, yeah, he held it down in the first half. I suppose you could have turned to him, but he's also like he's a non-factor on offense. He's just leaving the ball off to others. So it's one where like I thought you escaped the first half with him. All right, now it's the second half, so now your dudes need to come to play. But to your point on Cayenne, like Cayenne was actually solid-ish in the first half, and in the second half, like he was on a walkabout. So it's really hard to say what's going on.
The other thing, it was so obvious that Syracuse can't get into the paint. When they move the ball around, they have these curls where Kyle comes out to the top of the key, gets the ball, and they curl around and pass the ball off. That's their way of moving the ball around. Why can't they pass the ball side to side and get the defense off so they can get open for the three? They don't do that. I don't think Autry knows how to pass the ball side to side. They do these curls and they move the ball, and yeah, they got open a little bit, but that's not basketball 101. You know what I'm saying? They can't get into the paint. They got killed in the paint. They need a point guard that's going to drive to the paint and kick it out. I mean, I would have came out second half with the zone. I would have went with Sadiq, Donnie, Kyle, Kings, or Cayenne or Bryce. I would have came out and went in the zone and challenged them to shoot the ball because really they weren't really shooting the three that well. You know what I'm saying? And firing Autry, yeah. You know what happened if they fire Autry at this point in the season? It'll save the rest of the guys from leaving because we might just get a coach that's going to take us to the tournament. That's the reason to fire Autry right now is because it's obvious that he gets out coached. It was all about adjustments. He's not capable of making the right adjustments at all. And the turnovers, the turnovers come from lack of ball movement. In the first half, they moved the ball around and they got open shots. Second half, they started playing one-on-one ball again. And then that's where the turnovers come from because Donnie gets the ball, nobody's moving, and he's stuck. He's stuck. If nobody's moving, he's stuck. You can't blame Donnie. Yeah. You can't blame none of those guys that get the ball and get trapped because they're stuck.
Yeah, nobody's moving off the ball to help the guys. Like you mentioned, like those curls. I actually don't mind the curls, but you need to add in something else. Like that needs to happen, but then something needs to be happening over here also, or somebody's moving. There's just not enough consistent.
Clearly, they were
off-ball
not
movement.
cutting to the basket.
No.
They have to cut to the basket. They do these curls. That you see the middle's wide open. Somebody needs to cut.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if you watch 15 minutes in the second half, Starling was just standing there the whole time for the whole. He stood there and did not move. And that's when King shot the three and the miss. He just stood there. He didn't move.
Yeah.
Like they don't move. And the adjustments got to come from the coach.
To quote Jim Boeheim many times, the number one thing that Jim would yell from the sideline during games, pass and cut through. Like that's like when he's just trying to get him to move. He yelled that for years and years and years and years. Just like that's not a play. That's just to get some simple ball movement going. And it's it's been
that's
lacking.
How you get into the paint. How
years.
you get to the paint. They killed us in the paint, man. I like to see the numbers in the paint. We can't get into the paint. We're playing on the outside, and then we get stuck shooting a three. Nobody's cutting to the middle. We cannot get into the paint.
Yeah,
they got lucky and got into the paint with Sadiq, a couple of dunks. But I mean, if you look at the box score, man, we got killed in the paint.
I actually just looked. I was actually shocked. It's that the paint points are actually close, which is confusing. It's 36-32. But what that's not taking into account, Anthony, is all of the free throws that Virginia Tech got off of that. Because, that's why they got all of those free throws. Because
they had like 29 in the second half. To the third, they had 30-something total. Like most of them came to the second half.
Yeah, I mean, it was just they over and over and over again. All right, Anthony, always good to hear from you, man.
Yep.
All right, there is our guy Anthony breaking it down. All right, let's see if we can get back to Mike here, but it's rough right now. It is rough right now because it's the same stuff that's getting you game after game after game after game. All right, Mike, let's try this again. What's up, man?
Can you hear me okay?
There we go. We got you loud and clear.
No, to be honest with you, my audio is fine. I just, for those of you who haven't called in before, and please do, because like Ferda, you're awesome. Ryan Mullen, you could be an All-American on this thing. I was back in the Brian Higgins live, the 3-on-5 with Brian Higgins in the green room, and Anthony showed up, and I was just awestruck. Because Anthony's probably on the Mount Rushmore of Brian Higgins callers and everything like that. It was just amazing on that. So that's where that's from.
That can happen.
Autry blaming his players and taking about 0.0% accountability for what we're witnessing is complete and utter bullcrap. It is unbelievable to me how much this guy's lost it. I don't know if he went to the Ed Cooley School of Media Relations, because it's like they're in a neck and neck fight for like just audacious idiocy, but like to blame his players for that loss and say, well, your best player didn't get a rebound. It's just like, hey, how about you set some offensive sets? Hey, how about you coach this team? This is like a $7 or $8 million NIL team apparently, and he is doing an amazing job of not doing well. And shame on him for blaming his play. Like this guy, he's really it's getting to the next level where that apathy, like where I should be apathy with the performance. Mm-hmm. This guy is just blaming his players like that. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. This guy needs to go, and it's like they're not going to do anything mid-season. You saw the James Franklin thing with Penn State.
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting, though, if you see, will Melo say something? Will Adebo say something? So it's just, we're not getting meaningful games in March, but Autry is just, he was pounding the table during the game. He was like, he's losing it. But like, if we're not beating Virginia Tech and Boston College, man, I'm really stoked for Duke and North Carolina.
Yeah, I'd say this schedule gets nothing but harder coming up. Like Miami's pretty good coming up. NC State, that's a road game. That's always a tough place to play. And then Notre Dame's after that. They're not any good. But then you're getting into the Carolinas, the Dukes, and the Louisvilles down the line. Like things could spiral here. Things could aggressively spiral within the next few weeks. Hopefully not, but like things could go just haywire around here within a month.
And if that guy that we saw in that press conference is coaching, like if he's acting like that in the practices and everything like that, I have a high chance that's going to continue, because it's just like there's no way he's getting through these kids. Like the timeout before the last play of the first half, that was an awesome play where they called, which wasn't any. the lack of discipline, and to hear our wonderful play-by-play guy, well, we have offensive concepts and defend them, like we're conceptually inept. It's the defense is losing focus. Like it's just so frustrating what Autry just did in that press game, in that presser, quite frankly, on it. And it's just hopefully our AD, who I think is a great AD, which is probably not going to be popular this thing, has the air cover to make the right choice, because our we lost Severu from retirement in the portal to Michigan. Like, do you make a play, or do you let the next chancellor deal with it? Or are we on the doorstep of a new chancellor? But we're right there. You started this program with apathy. It's going to be a struggle to get through the next 45 days. So
it's not a good place for Syracuse basketball tonight, Mike. Not a good place for Syracuse basketball. And I was talking about it whenever I was talking about it Monday. I think whenever this decision gets made, all the things you just mentioned, the chancellor out, I haven't heard nor seen from Wild Hack anywhere in more than a month that I can think of. Whenever this, I don't know who's in charge. I have no idea who's going to make the decision, and because of that, it's really hard to trust that. All right, say Red's done. That the next part, the important part of finding the next person, I don't know who's doing that. So it's really hard to trust the process right now of where it's going, and you just. Fingers crossed it works out.
For all the people saying, oh, Wild Hack's terrible, which I just disagree with, what do you expect the athletic director to do in season? What is our expectations? Like, the university is like, this isn't good enough, so that what should we be demanding? Because pretty sure they're probably mobilizing to some degree. We don't know what the action is, but what should the university be doing at this point?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I agree. There's nothing you can do now. Firing Red today isn't going to do anything. But behind the scenes, right, that's where the AD, I think the major job of ADs right now in athletics with NIL and all this is you are a fundraiser, and you need to be the driving force of where people's funds are going. So you need to be arranging a war chest right now to figure out the right answer. Come March is what you have to be doing. Now, what's happening behind the scenes, who knows? But that somebody better be doing that. Otherwise, we'll get to March, and then Syracuse won't have the money to make the right thing happen, and then it'll be a bigger mess than it is right now.
Very, very true. Anyway, thanks for the therapy.
All right. Anytime, Mike. Get on the couch. All right. Thank you, Mike. Always good to hear. This is therapy. This is cheaper therapy than most people get here. This is absolutely free. You can pay. Again, there's the dollar sign in the box right there. But we don't take insurance or anything. You just let it fly. You just let it fly. Again, link pinned top of the chat if anybody else would like to join before the end of our proceedings. And then yeah, to Eddie Vrien's point there, all right, so if the Board of Trustees chose Red, and clearly Boeheim had significant influence and the chancellor's involved, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so let's say we get to March or get to whatever day the plug is pulled on Red. Who's in charge? Who is making the decision? Who's leading? Who's really in charge? Who's really in charge of identifying the next person, making sure there's enough money to pay the next person? There's not going to be a new chancellor in by then. That's just not, even if you've got one identified, you're not going to have, especially if it's somebody from the outside, they're not going to be here. Their imprint's not going to be on the world yet. Who's in charge? There's nobody, it's going to be potentially rudderless. Is Wild Hack making a hire? Is Syverud involved, even though he's half out the door? Is whomever the next chancellor thinks they are involved? Which Board of Trustees member has sway at the moment? Is Boeheim still involved in one way or another? Who's in charge? I don't know who's in charge, and that's what makes this, it's a terrible time for that to be happening. Yeah, Buddy Boeheim, it's a terrible, it just doesn't add up well. It doesn't add up well, but what adds up even less is, you talk about financials, financials for athletic departments vis-a-vis basketball matter a lot more for Syracuse than it does for other schools because of the size of the building and because the amount you're used to making off the program, which based on attendance, I heard there was maybe less than 6,000 people in the building today. You're not making that money. You're not selling as many beers. You're not selling as much parking. you're literally not making as much money off this stuff. So I don't know. All I know is it's really, really, really important that they get this right. It is really, really important. And then, football to that point, like year one, Fran, great. Year two, a complete grease fire disaster. Where is it? Yeah, I'm hearing the same thing, Jordan. I'll hold out hope it's somebody from the outside that's exciting. But yes, I've heard much of the same behind the scenes on that. Yeah, that's ish the numbers I'm hearing. T-Takes. There were less than 6,000 people in the building tonight. That's a problem. Like you saw in the wide shots when they were shooting from the baseline up at free throws. There's nobody there. There's nobody there. Well, Anthony, I'll say that another coach could sit. They're not going to get another coach in the middle of the season though. Like if they fire Red, the other coach is already sitting there. Like you're not going to get your next coach now. So, like, do we think any of the three assistants are suited to save the season this season? I mean, Griff always entertained me on my previous show. I enjoy talking to Griff, but I don't know where. Do we think Dan Engelstad, who I've never heard say a word in my life in an interview or anything to anybody, is he going to step in and save the season? Like, yeah, I don't know. It's sad. It's sad right now. It's sad right now. Like there's just. It's a weird combination because it's not apathy. That my worry is always apathy because apathy is what happened to Syracuse football after G-Rob. People stopped caring, and it took a really, really, really long time to get people somewhat vested again, right? Like Doug had to dig it out a little bit. And then, Dino had moments. I know a lot of people crap on Dino now, but he did a lot of stuff that got you in, like whose house, our house, and, Dungy's 10-win season, you came back a little bit. Then it slides. Then Fran last year, I think, got a lot of people back into Syracuse football. That was a 20-year climb back from apathy. A 20-year climb back from apathy. With the speed that college athletics is changing right now, you do not have 20 years to climb back from anything. You don't have it. Because who the hell knows what the world's going to look like in 20 years with this? Like, you finally get back, and none of the stuff you were climbing toward will be there anymore. Like, right now, you have people that they're not apathetic. Like, I'm still hearing from all, like, I'm sure you people are too. I'm still having the conversations about Syracuse basketball. We'll all are here. We got a big crowd. It's 12:15 in the morning. This is a very large crowd right now for 12:15 in the morning. We're still having the same conversations. People are pissed about the game tonight. Like, there is not emotional apathy. There is fiscal apathy, though, right? Like, the economy's crap. Like, your electric bill costs $1 million freaking dollars right now. Groceries are freaking to the moon. You're not spending, like, the last of your disposable income anymore right now with this version of Syracuse basketball. They're not taking that money from you, right? They're not. And that's not a debate. It's proven. And I'm not saying you should be. But that's people speaking very loudly right now about the program. They're saying that we still care about it, but we're not giving you our money to care about it right now. And it's totally understandable. And until things change, that part of it's only going to get worse. And the biggest worry right now, is how much longer can it continue like this until what happened with football because of G-Rob happens to basketball. And the biggest thing is you can't let it happen, because if you do, it's damn near impossible to get it back. It's impossible to get it back. Right now, people are pissed. Pissed is good. Winning is better. Winning, pissed, apathy. Winning, pissed, apathy. Right now, we're lingering on pissed. I just worry how long there's left on pissed before people completely tune out on it all. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, the Indiana thing in football, they did prove it, T-Tix. You're not wrong, but yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. Winning fixes it. Winning fixes everything, fella Ferda. Winning fixes everything. But if you fall too far, especially in this day and age, because where Louisville fell, Louisville was kind of like Syracuse is right now. They were terrible. People stopped going to the games. But there's a ton of money around Louisville basketball, and people did not stop financially giving with their checkbook, NIL and all that, and it allowed them to climb back quickly. So if people are pissed and they're just showing it by not going to the games, but they're willing to step up in the way that you need to put a winning team on the court, then you can climb back quickly. But if the apathy gets into that, then you can't, like, it becomes a lot harder to climb back. Most fans tuned out already. I don't know about that, Michael Antonio. I just think that the number of Syracuse basketball diehards is very large. Like, you look at the Syracuse basketball program, the number of people that I think would call themselves diehards for Syracuse basketball is one of the larger numbers of any program in the country, which is why the piss level is still high, right? Yeah, I'm not saying the average fan is responsible for donating. That applies more to the people with money. Like, if the money people that are doing that become apathetic about Syracuse basketball, then you got a big problem. Yeah, no, I never put it on the average fan to donate for that stuff, Michael Antonio. We're not doing Weitzman again, fellow footer. We're not doing Weitzman. Yeah, Tussi's out. Tussi's out. What a day. We lost Tussi. Lost to Virginia Tech. I don't know when the bourbon money's drying up down in Louisville. Is it? Is it San Diego? They also have horse money, though. And they got medical money. They got different monies. The bourbon money is a lot of money, though. What does Syracuse got? We need some bourbon money. How dare that state of Kentucky having all the bourbon money. Yeah, sports is entertainment. Yeah, it is a bad product right now. It's a bad product. He's going to commit to Rutgers? Starting slot receiver. Tussi's going to Rutgers. That's the levity we needed right now, fellow Ferda. All right. Somehow here we still need to do our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game. Are we actually going to give it out? No, should we give it to no one? There's just darkness in the backyard. Absolute darkness in the backyard right now. Where's the bird cam? Here we go. Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game. Anybody got any thoughts? Like, I'm just, it's just misery right now. William Kyle was excellent in the first half. Donnie Freeman had his worst game of the season, so there is that. JJ didn't do much. Nate Kings was fine. Sadiq was okay at points. Jen has no one. The game was yesterday. Too late for a player of the game. But Wild Birds Unlimited isn't open again until 10. People, yeah. Red's F-bomb is the big hair player of the game. Red swearing at the post-game press conference about missing the effing rebound. Yeah. Oh, man. Look at the darkness. The darkness of night. The darkness of night could be our Wild Birds Unlimited big air player of the game, just staring out to the darkness of night. Nate Kings is a real player. Melo's tilted hat was fantastic. It was a jaunty cap he takes, and I did enjoy it thoroughly. It looked like he straightened it out by the end when it's like his hat took on the mood of the game. Early on, it was kind of rollicking up and down. He had a jaunty cap on. By the end, sadness, flat brimmed. Yeah. Bryce Zephyr, player of the game, didn't F it up. We could go that route. That could be a statement. Bryce Zephyr is our Wild Birds Unlimited player of the game because he didn't F it up like others. That could be funny. That I kind of enjoy that. We like the Notre Dame football game. We talked about this a few games ago. It did go to an article of clothing. So we have Melo's jaunty hat. Not the end, but slightly before the end. Rolls over for two. Now we gotta give some pub to Wild Birds Unlimited. They gotta sell bird feeders too on a Thursday. Like, people need their bird seed on a Thursday. Bryce Zephyr amuses me. Bryce Zephyr is the most amusing answer. And at times like this, in 12:19 in the morning on this now Thursday, January 22nd here in 2026, Bryce Zephyr, for coming in the first half and not screwing it up. Bryce Zephyr, you are the Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game. Celebrating good health. There we are. Yeah. Bryce, or the darkness of night. Tomorrow's going to be a long one, folks. Tomorrow is going to be a long one. We got 2 shows tomorrow, so everyone saddle up. Everyone saddle up tomorrow. We're live at 11. We're live in the 315 at 11, where we're probably just going to just, like, it's 12:20. So in 10 hours and 40 minutes, we'll just pick up bitching right where we left off right now. And then we'll take a little break. And then 8 o'clock tomorrow night, we're going to do a little TPS report with Jordan. And then we'll pick up bitching again. So we're just gonna keep it going. We're just gonna keep it going. Jack would be plenty of space on the bird feeder. Yeah. We've had a lot. Thank you, San Diego Q's. Thank you for saving us. Thank you for saving us. He was not happy with me. That said, how many of you dropped an F-bomb when Donnie got that ripped out of his arms? Like, I don't know if I was specifically an F-bomb, but whatever I said was probably not fit for terrestrial radio. Oh man, just not good. Can the 315 get a media pass? Yeah, I can get a media pass if I felt like it, but then how could I do the post-game show here? Man, and why I gotta be at the command central here to do the post-game show. I'm sure I could get a pass, but heck, based on the crowd tonight, I could get a section. Like, I could stretch out and luxuriate. Like, I could really get up in there. Shout out to all of our sponsors as well for sticking with us late night. Simply Sweet Sisters, they dropped the new sweatshirt collection the other day, so go check that out with your 10% off code, Brian315. Tomorrow, Friday, I think Friday morning is when I'm going to the Most to pick up the passes that they are providing to us. So we're going to work some giveaways of Most passes going forward. And all of that. Jordan's already at the game, Matt NY. He's just being employed by others while he's at the game. So, and I wouldn't pay Jordan to go to the game. So we'll let Jordan make his money for going to the game. You know, he's not yet 30. He's got multiple income streams. He's making it happen. Then of course, Wild Birds Unlimited. Shout out to Wild Birds Unlimited. It is 12:20 in the morning. A remarkable you yelled and woke up your beagle, and you're on the West Coast. Like, think of us on the East Coast here. You're just West Coast dog waking up, San Diego Q's. This is a shocking crowd with us still at this hour of the day. So appreciate y'all. If you haven't subscribed yet, do that. If you haven't become a member of the channel yet, do that. Make sure you're ready to go 11 a.m. tomorrow. We're basically, I don't have many plans for the show tomorrow other than this. So just kind of picking up this conversation where we've left off and seeing where it goes tomorrow. Because this is a conversation realistically that we've had today is going to continue probably for the next month and a half or so. It's hard to see it changing at this point. Syracuse loses to Virginia Tech. We're up late night. Thanks for hanging, everybody. We'll talk to y'all again tomorrow morning live in the 315 here at 11 o'clock.
Thanks for watching the 315 with Brian Higgins. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on. We'll see you next time.